Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike with another clan discussion video. Like I told you in my last one, the Oracle Think Tank one, I would be posting 2 this week, and if, like always, if both of these get 10 thumbs up, I will continue to do them, and once these both get 10 thumbs up, then I will do more. So anyway, guys, the next clan that I'm going to be talking about is Nova Grapplers. So Nova Grapplers is a clan, not personally one of my favorite clans, even though normally I have some cards, or in the last one I held up some cards to show you guys, and in this one I really don't have much except this right here is my Beast Deity deck. And we can't get into Beast Deities yet, because that is not where Nova Grappler started. Nova Grappler started, guys, with the first grade 3 that we came into seeing was Asura Kaiser. We saw Nova Grapplers for the first time, I believe, in episode 5, if my memory serves me correct, when Aichi was still new to the game, and he came across Kamui Katsuragi, who plays the Nova Grapplers. And the Nova Grapplers, they're your standard robots, machines, and things like that. Nova Grapplers coming from, like, the idea of wrestling or fighting. So anyway, here, we're talking about Nova Grapplers, and, they're a bit... I've told you what each clan, I've been telling you kind of what each clan is all about. And what this clan is all about is attacking, and attacking, and attacking, and attacking, and attacking, and abilities that give you more attacks. That's all Nova Grappler is about. It is a complete aggro deck. If you're an aggro player, then you love this clan, because all the deck does is scream aggro. There is nothing in this clan that allows it to be a control deck. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Nova Grapplers is a fun deck. Now, like I told you guys, the only Nova Grappler deck that I have myself is my Beast Deity Extreme deck. And to be real honest, guys, I really don't play this deck that much, and it's probably already sold to a friend of mine, but me personally, Nova Grapplers, I built a Nova Grappler deck a long time ago. It was an Asura Kaiser build, when Asura Kaiser was the only grade 3 that really did anything in Nova Grapplers. I played literally 4 Asura Kaiser, and then I don't remember what my other grade 3 was, but I built the deck just because I thought it would be fun. It just didn't, it was cool, but it just wasn't a deck that I particularly enjoyed playing. Like I told you guys, if you watched my Beast Deity Extreme deck, or my Ethics Buster Reverse deck, I can't remember one, the only reason I built Beast Deities is that right there. I love the Perfect Guard. that was the only reason I really, built this deck. Now, as for all of you, I normally tell you a couple of decks that have been synonymous with Nova Grapplers. Well, the first major deck that we come across that I think made Nova Grapplers, or at least competitable, I guess you would have to say Razors. I think this was the first Nova Grappler deck that really pushed them, and it was the perfect Razor decks that we saw, or the Illuminal Dragon Beast Deity decks when Illuminal Dragon first came out. These were the first 2 that really gave Nova Grapplers some power. I had an Illuminal Dragon deck at one point. I ended up scrapping it and trading it all off because I didn't use the deck that much. So I sold parts of it, I traded parts of it away, and then other parts I also sometimes just gave it away. To other people who would use it. I didn't use the deck. Illuminal Dragon, it was a good card, even though it was an underrated card, and Asura Kaiser was a good card. But up until EB08, EB07, it was the Nova Grappler Extra Booster, Galaxy, EB08 and EB09, I think. No, wait, that was Kagro. EB08 or EB09, one of the 2. It was the Galaxy Extra Booster. That is what gave Asura Kaiser finally the support it could to be its own deck, and that was it's Cross-Ride Immortal Asura Kaiser. So in my very first completed Nova Grappler deck, it literally was 4 Illuminal Dragons and 4 Asura Kaisers. That was my deck. And, I had the 4 Brutal Jack, I had the Kings and the Queen, the Kings of Sword, the Queens of Hearts, I had Magician Girl Kirara in there. I mean, and I played a lot of stand triggers because that's what the deck focused on, but the deck just wasn't, for whatever reason, it just wasn't a deck that I got much enjoyment out of playing, except past casual, and then eventually I just traded the deck away, and, even though I like my Beast Deities, I'm probably going to end up trading them away or selling them just because I don't plan on using them in tournament play anytime soon, and I don't use them that much outside of casual play. I just don't. Another thing to think about with this deck is after Perfect Razor and Illuminal Dragon came along, and then we just became involved in the Beast Deity archetype. Now, the Beast Deity archetype, it was interesting, when it very first started out. Basically, the cards revolved around helping other units to stand up, or it gained some other ability when it stood up. Like, one of my least favorite cards when my friend Connor plays it is this card right here. This card right here. I hate this card. Golden Anklet. I hate it. I don't like looking at it. I don't like seeing it. The only time I like seeing this card is when I'm the one that is using it. Other cards, for Beast Deities we saw around that time, where is it? Was also this card. Beast Deity Blank Marsh. This was another one of the early stages of Beast Deities. And then when set 10 came out, we saw a little more support. We saw, in set 10, we saw this card, Beast Deity Ethics Buster. And we also saw the new Powerhouse Starter. This card was really big for Beast Deities. This card gives Beast Deities a lot of power just simply for if the unit in front of him stands, he stands as well. So you stand a whole column necessarily for one stand trigger. And they also got their new 12k attacker, which this right here really gave them, something good. And as well, we saw future cards like Max Beat, and even the new boss monsters like Extreme, and other cards such as Papio. I mean, other cards like this for Beast Deities that really gave them some push, that really made them competitive. And sometimes you literally will just auto-lose to this deck because they literally stand so many times, or they eat away your whole hand, you can't guard anymore. That's what makes Beast Deities so threatening, unless you know how to play against them. Beast Deities, is by far the best that Nova Grapplers has ever been. However, it's fair to say, looking at the new Razor support, that Razors will become the headliner for Nova Grappler, because Razors, when Perfect Razor came out, it was an okay deck. You had cards like High-Powered Razor Custom, Razor Custom, and things like that. And then you got Perfect Razor. And the only thing I didn't like about Perfect Razor is when he was rode as the Vanguard, every Razor rearguard on your field got sucked into the soul. So you minused yourself, but during his turn he gained, I think, 2,000 power for every Razor in the soul, and if there was at least 4 in there, he got a +1 critical, and then if there was not a Razor rearguard, he lost 2,000 power, I mean, so he had a lot of weird things going on, but it was a good deck if you knew how to work it. I think Razors down the line, especially with the Razor Mega Flare Legion that we'll be seeing soon, is a very, very good deck. It'll be definitely one to be reckoned with. If you haven't done any research on that, you should do so, because the Mega Flare Legion will probably be pretty competitive here in America when it gets here, and pretty popular. I think it's fair to say that probably the Nova Grapplers are more popular here in America than they are in Japan, because from every video I've ever watched, at least of the Japanese meta, it seems like Nova Grapplers are kind of one of those clans that not a whole lot of people are big on. I mean, me personally, I've always loved the artwork of Nova Grapplers. Like, this is my favorite Nova Grappler card. I mean, I love Beast Deity Solar Falcon. I just love the artwork because I love Falcons. But, in the same breath, I've never really... this clan just never clipped onto me as a deck that, okay, I'm going to play this, or I'm going to play this in a local or higher ranked tournament. Nova Grapplers, like I said, their main strategy is to literally beat you to death. The one thing that most Beast Deity decks that most Nova Grappler decks have in common is the ability to stand. If you don't want to go Beast Deity, there is one other option that you can go, and that was in the new extra booster as well. They saw the Blouse series revisited. I would have a Blau card, but I traded my last 2 Blau cards away, so I now have no Blau cards. And that was revisiting the Stern Blau Kruger deck. Stern Blau Kruger was very popular when he first came out, and then eventually he just kind of died out because he just wasn't as good, because he couldn't stand up to 11k Vanguards, because Stern Blau Kruger himself, no, he was a 10k Vanguard. Yeah, he was. He just kind of faded out because he just wasn't as good as what was out during his time. And then when we saw the release of this extra booster, we saw the release of Galaxy Kruger. Blau's got a new Perfect Guard, and they received a Blau Break Ride, which was huge for them, as well as receiving 2 very broken cards, mainly their starter, which is where if he boosts a successful attack, you can counterblast 1 and then look at the top 3 for any Blau card and add it to your hand. This was really good. And then the Break Ride would just stand up your rear guards, and then we saw Galaxy Kruger, which was basically Stern Blau Kruger on crack. So Nova Grapplers has been known to have some very, very powerful arsenal cards. Like I said, it kind of looks like, to me, I've always thought Nova Grapplers looked like Transformers, and then the Razors kind of looked like Transformers / Power Rangers Zords / Gundam. Same thing with Dimensional Police. I love the artwork, but the clan just never grabbed onto me like it grabbed onto some people, and that really made them want to play it. But like most decks, most of Nova Grapplers revolve around just restanding their units, whether it be the Blau deck, whether it be the Illuminal Dragon deck, I already said the Stern deck, or even the Beast Deity deck, Extreme. Those decks revolve nothing but standing your units. The Razor deck, they rely more on gaining that extra crit and then just beating you to death. The Razors, at least the Razors that we have right now, they don't really focus on restanding, but the Legion for the Razors, they do focus on that. So, I mean, everything except the Razors of Nova Grapplers, they've always focused on just restanding and gaining more attacks, to where either your opponent had to waste more cards, or eventually they just had to take the attack or let their rear guards die because they simply did not have the cards to guard. That's what makes Nova Grapplers so well, or so good, and what keeps them competitive. Me personally, I think Nova Grapplers is one of the better clans, but unfortunately, I just don't think it gets a lot of popularity next to Kagero, the Paladins, and Narukami, and things like that. That's just basically my opinion. Nova Grapplers, if that is your clan, I can totally see why you do like it. Their artwork is amazing. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, my dog. But Nova Grapplers as a whole is a very successful clan, guys. If you're looking for a cheap clan to always build, it always seems like the Nova Grappler decks are pretty cheap. Right now you can build Beast Deities for next to nothing. This whole Beast Deity deck is probably worth $100, and that's pretty cheap for being competitive. I mean, because sometimes if you can get Extreme as your Vanguard, as a Crossroad Vanguard, you can auto-win just by, doing that because of his limit break being so stupid. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the Nova Grappler clan discussion. In the comment section below, if there's anything I did not mention about a popular deck that you like, please mention it. I covered Razors, I covered the Stern deck, or Blau Kruger deck if you prefer, Beast Deities, and Ishura Kaiser. These the main 4 decks are variations of decks that we've seen. I'm sure there's been a couple others, but I just try to cover the main ones. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Remember, if this video gets 10 thumbs up, as well as my Oracle Think Tank video, if they both get 10 thumbs up, I will continue to do these. So I hope you enjoy them. I hope you continue to watch them, and we will continue doing them. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.